off of CDEC. We saw Yang absolutely go off the chain here. 9-0-21 final score. This guy did so much damage. He initiated every fight for the most part and didn't die a single time. So I'll be very interested. It's funny, we joked about this earlier, Jenkins, the fact that CDEC was targeting Yang so heavily, right? I think the first 3 bans, at least, were focused on an offlane hero. Do you think we're going to see something very similar this time, or?
I don't know. It feels kind of bad when you use all of your bans on offlane heroes and then the offlaner still pops off.
Yeah.
I feel like it's at that point where you just focus on somebody else. You just assume this guy's going to have like a relatively good game, no matter what you pick him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't, but we'll see. I would say when you lose a game like that, where it felt so structured, so disciplined from the enemy team, and it feels like they could probably rinse and repeat that again, you want to change something. Like I really feel like you want to completely change up how you draft. But we'll see. Timbersaw once again being banned. Timbersaw literally banned in 100% of matches. 100% so far. That is crazy. Like nobody wants to play against this hero.
No, he's just way too powerful, especially when you consider that a lot of the ways to deal with him are not really in the meta right now. But
yeah, it's a good hero. I mean, also the fact that if you do pick a counter to him, you just go for like a Timber Chain build and cut the wave, and you can't stop a Timber from cutting the wave because he just has reactive armor, so he can tank a billion creeps all at once and just Timber Chains away from you. Like it really feels like there's so many options with Timber, and if you can't have a good game with him, it's just because you suck. It's not the hero. Like the hero has so many options available to him, and they're all pretty easy to pull off just because of what reactive armor does. Venomants are banned. They really did not like playing against that.
That's really interesting. I guess it gave them I guess Ori's probably having, flashbacks, just like, I don't want to deal with that. Again, keeping in mind, XM ranked number 2 in China on the leaderboard, so I can imagine that would be a difficult matchup for any OD in general, but then when you're up against a very high-skill player.
Let me go ahead and check my Dota.plus. Yeah, ranked 2 in China.
Yeah.
We got a couple of private profiles, so I can't see if a couple of them on the side of CDEC, but rank 159, rank 173. Most of these players are, top 100 or close to top 100. And in China, close to top 100 is always pretty impressive because they obviously have so many players that that's probably like mid 8K MMR, which is crazy. Because I think in NA to get top 100, it's like 7.9K, 8K, something like that. Mm-hmm. But in China, you're definitely like closer to 9K to be top 100, which is just crazy high.
Huh, that's
Oracle ban. Yeah, your favorite hero,
my boy Oracle.
Favorite. Yeah,
bet he didn't see that coming though. No. I know I didn't see it coming. That's kind of a random. Yeah. It's an interesting ban choice. I wonder why, I guess, is the big question for me.
Like gyrocopter or something like that. I mean, there's any like magic damage hero Oracle's pretty good against. Bat Riders, things like that. I think the Purge really hurts, although you would not want to first phase some Bat Rider. No. So Ember.
Okay. The Pango makes it through the draft.
Sure. Did get nerfed, but not really by that much. They basically took 100 off of his cast range on the Swashbuckle and added it to the slash range. So it's better aggressively, worse defensively now. So well, I mean, basically nothing changed.
I think typically when they pick up the Pangolier, it's being run on PYW as a 4. But it is a bit of a flex pick.
It is, yeah. I mean, you can play mid. You could honestly probably play 5 realistically in this goddamn patch. Off lane, it's pretty fine. And the Bane counter pick, pretty solid grip target in the Pango. You grip him during the ult, and it kind of nullifies the hero's existence. Good setup for the Void Spirit too with the Nightmare. Void Spirit, just one of the most solid heroes in Dota.
He just got nerfed, right? Not a lot, but
he did a
couple nerfs in this recent.
He got probably the big thing is the move speed reduction from 300 to 295. So now he's on the slower side of heroes. The damage got nerfed again at level 10, but I mean, the hero's not really. His right click damage is not all that important. His stat gains are still really insane, and you can build damage items. And the Shadow Demon gets through. Very good against the Fiend's Grip because you can just imprison whoever gets gripped and it literally straight up cancels the grip, which is quite annoying. And it's probably okay against the Void Spirit. You purge them, it will make it so that you can't press the shield ability. That's something. Not a great imprison target, though, honestly. The Void Spirit can just jump out afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like because we watched the match before with CDEC versus oh gosh, what was the team that they just played? IG. They were playing against IG, and I
yeah.
didn't feel like IG had necessarily the best lockdown. I was a bit surprised because I feel like Void Spirit, he really thrives in an environment where there's not a lot of heavy lockdown. He can kind of dip in and out very quickly, but they had some difficulty on CDEC just implementing it, and I think part of it was also a bit draft, bit maybe the way that the lanes went. I didn't get to watch the entire match. So, I would say normally, like Vici Gaming, you don't have much lockdown for a Void Spirit, but at the same time, do they really care? Do they feel like, maybe, okay, yeah, we're not going to be able to grab him, but we'll have plenty of other things. Like, we've talked about this before in some of the other matches that we've cast, is how much attention do you pay to the enemy draft, and how much do you just dance to the beat of your own drum, so to speak? How much do you just say, I've got a draft idea, we'll tinker it a little bit, but we know how we want this game to go and how we want it to
Yeah, I
basically
think
just
I think most of the more like high caliber teams, I suppose, like the creme de la creme, once again, like the tier 1 teams, like the Secrets and so forth, like these teams usually dance to the beat of their own drum. But like you said, with a slight respect to the enemy draft, like I do think that the Pangolier is good like chain lockdown for the Void Spirit, but it's not great setup to catch him. So you probably do want to just pick one thing that's gonna at least set up to kill the Void Spirit. You don't have to like hard counter with like a Puck or something like that. I know people used to do that all the time when Puck was actually good, but something they need like a little bit more. I would have liked to see like a Rubik or something if Rubik wasn't just straight up banned here.
Yeah.
To just set up, but yeah, usually it's they'll dance to the beat of their own drum. And the Skywrath Mage as a possible position 4. I mean, actually, all of these CDEC heroes are quite versatile, so it's hard to say what role this hero will be in. People, do you remember back in the day? Well, I shouldn't say back in the day. This was like a few months ago.
It technically was back in the day.
True, with all the patches that are coming out.
Yeah, right.
This Skywrath Mage offlane, like people would run that. Sky Mid used to be a thing. I mean, the hero's not that great right now, so it's just rough in general to pick it. But there are, you can actually be versatile with where you put this hero. Maybe even 5 Sky is not that bad.
That's possible. I think usually we're seeing the 5 Bane coming out for most of these teams when it gets picked up, just because it is one of those Banes, not Banes, well, yes, it is a Bane, but it's definitely one of those heroes that does well in the 5 poverty role, because like we've said, gold, it's hard to get it on the map right now, especially as a position 5 support. You no longer get gold from denies, and there's just not enough.
All the gold talents were like straight up removed.
Yeah,
so sad.
It sucks.
So
I miss it.
sad.
I miss it so bad as a support player. But Bane's
that was so much fun.
Yeah, Bane's one of the heroes that he's got everything he needs in his kit. He, yes, items are nice, but they're not necessary, so to speak.
Definitely.
So, PPD's Bane comes to mind, for example.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
Probably Bane run as the 5. I'm guessing Skywrath, I would guess as a 4, because I think I've seen XM play the Void Spirit in a previous match a couple times now, but it does have some flexibility. I feel like the Void Spirit just does more. If he gets a fast 6, he's able to, perform more tempo ganks and move about the map. So.
Ooh, Monkey King. Yeah, this hero. I mean, the thing with the Monkey King, though, is that it is like traditionally a counter to the Legion, but when you have a Sky in the lane, like this hero is paper, this Monkey King. And Legion can also play using the Q more and just use like the move speed to get away from the Monkey King and kind of run him down when he's too low to turn around and trade with you. So I am a pretty big fan of this CDEC offlane, although with that being said, they are playing also into a Shadow Demon, which Legion Commander is quite good against because you can just purge his stacks off of you, and he can never get too high of stacks on you because you very literally just purge them. So, but man, this is a good Shadow Demon game outside of the laning stage. Like you have Shadow Demon Marana. You do have the Legion to purge the Mirana arrow, but you have the Skywrath Mage ult you can save people from. You have the Bane Fiend's Grip you can save people from. You have the Legion Commander duel you can save people from. Even the Void Spirit is relatively single target. You jump somebody, puts a Remnant down, and you can imprison them. So Shadow Demon, absolutely the primary target for CDEC right now. I do not see how you win team fights if you do not go on the Shadow Demon first or play to disable him while you're going on somebody. Like, this guy's got to be the focus for CDEC right now.
I'm a little concerned, though, if you look at what CDEC's got on the table, is they don't have really anything for team fight. There's a lot of pickoff capability, right? Like, if you pair up Legion Commander Skyrath, Legion Commander with really any one of these heroes and vice versa, but
Yeah,
if they decide
nice.
to run at you as 5, which they will do, they absolutely will do on the side of Vici Gaming. We saw the way that they played earlier. It's going to be very difficult for CDEC to fight them.
Yeah, I actually, you say that, and I totally agree. I think something like a Death Prophet would be awesome in the safe lane. I'm not sure if the Chinese teams are running the kind of like int heroes in the safe lane. I know that's big in NASA right now, which we've done a lot of casting of, and but I would love to see that. Just pick some strong. I mean, they could pick Gyro too. That's also a thing. Is Gyro banned? No, Gyro's not banned.
Nope.
So they could Gyro on CDEC as well, and I think it's a really solid Gyro game. And okay, Ember Spirit actually makes it to the last phase somehow. I kind of assumed this hero was banned just because it hadn't been picked yet, but it just somehow made it.
Again, it was some interesting bans. They had the respect ban against the Venomancer and the Oracle, right? Got banned. I'm still not 100% sure why they want to ban the Oracle, but perhaps they know something that we don't about CDEC.
Okay, Faceless Void. There's the team fight solution right there. Pairs beautifully with the Skywrath Mage ulti too. This is like the easiest Sky game other than the SD. Let's say the SD doesn't exist. This is literally the best Sky game I've ever seen. You have Legion to set up, you have Void Spirit to set up, you have Bane to set up, and you have Void. Sky basically just runs around with anybody he wants, and he's going to get a free setup on his ulti. Like, this guy doesn't even need to build boots this game if he doesn't want to. He can just go like raw damage, no disable, nothing matters other than just getting his ulti down and doing as much damage as possible. But like we talked about before, the Shadow Demon is a big focus because of the ability to save people from everything on the side of CDEC. Would you run him out? That is ugly. That is an ugly bug.
Really? I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
No, I just mean I think like the tiger itself is like didn't get great genes. You know, like
well,
it looks.
It doesn't. It looks like something out of Borderlands more than Dota, like the way that it's shaded. But you know,
it looks like there's yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna say that one actually. That's too dark. But it's not looking good. That tiger. It's not looking healthy.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure on DUI to perform this game, though, like you said, you know, especially, you know, dealing with the Scarth, but even just, you know, making sure that he's not stuck in the Faceless Void ulti, because he is kind of the saving grace, right? The fact that he can use a disruption. Maybe you get lucky, maybe PYW's not caught in it, he can throw out an arrow, but otherwise you don't really have any save for that Chronosphere.
Yeah, agreed. I think if you're Vici, you probably want to build a good amount of defensive items just so that way you don't rely entirely on the Shadow Demon to save you. Mm-hmm. God, he has chicken hands. Does Skywrath Mage always have chicken hands?
Yeah.
Like claws?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
He really is just a chicken.
He is. He absolutely is. The Skriark people? Is that the actual term? Am I being PC here?
You should ask Slacks. He knows. Have you seen his Lorgasm videos?
Which one?
Just all of them. I
mean, they're ridiculous.
I've been fiending those. Like I considered myself somebody who doesn't give a single damn about Dota lore, because I'm just sitting here like, Valve just made all this shit up because of the they had to change it from all the Blizzard things, you know. But
you know why you care about lore now, Jenkins? It's because of D&D.
That's true. That's actually true. D&D. I'm definitely super interested in all the little stories, but there's so many connections in these things, and I know Slacks is making half of it up, but God, I get so into it. Like I was watching the one on Void Spirit and the Sundering and the rivers coming together and stuff, and the time loop of Dota, and dude, it's cool. It's really cool. Like, did you know TA is Void Spirit's apprentice?
I heard rumors of it.
I didn't know that, but she says she calls him master when they're chilling together. When in a game, she has a voice line for that.
She talks
But
about the
God,
hidden
dude,
ones, and Void Spirit would qualify as a hidden one.
yeah, maybe that's what she was talking about. But dude, shout outs to Slacks. Those videos are insane. Like they're so interesting. I see why Valve likes him because like nobody cares about lore, and then you just watch Slacks' videos, and all of a sudden I'm like, dude, make the next video. I need to see it.
Yeah, I mean that's how Slacks got gained traction, right? With the Dota 2 community, is he just made a lot of content rather. And this guy consistently just, you know, it's come a long way from his Bloodseeker rap to win those TI tickets. I think that's the first time that he got really popular. Have you seen that, by the way?
No, but I remember the Gyro song.
Oh God, that
I
was.
did. Yeah.
Oh, I
That
remember
was-
going to Captain's
Ugh.
Draft back a long time ago when it was in DC, and they used him singing Chandelier as Gyrocopter to clear the event after it was time to
I
leave. They were
remember
just like,
that.
"Get out!" And they played that, and
I do
everyone's like,
remember
"Oh
that.
God, it's horrible. Let's all leave."
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he makes quality content. He has a
He
good
makes
time with
good.
it.
He makes good shit. Really good stuff. Monkey King is a cat heading towards the bot lane.
I like it. I like cats. This cat's
Yeah,
got a little cat armor.
See, I would
Even.
use him as a pauldron. Like he looks like a really solid piece of armor. I
I mean,
feel
he
like.
does have a helmet, so I guess you could use him as a pauldron, but
Yeah, exactly. Because nobody wants to hit a cat. You know what I mean? If you walk around and just try to fight people, and you've like cats on your shoulders,
you're gonna
nobody's
think you're
gonna punch
crazy,
you.
and no one wants to go anywhere near that.
No, it's because you have a cat, and people are afraid of cats because they'll scratch you.
I don't think people are afraid of cats. I think a lot of people like cats, though.
Yeah, I beg to differ.
All right, well, we'll agree to disagree, friend. Should be a pretty
this
even split,
James
though,
build.
here on the runes. Looks like,
Does look like it.
yeah, CDEC just posturing down here on the bottom, and of course you've got Vici Gaming just keeping their runes safe over here on the top. So nothing too wild just yet.
Super big commitment from both teams to just like put all of the heroes on one side to start, which is always interesting to see how teams divvy up these bounty runes.
I think the kill potential too is very, very high, right? When you've got a Marana Shadow Demon coming out. So
yeah, exactly.
I think, you know, CDEC is just like, well, we'll do some scouting, we'll see what they have, but we don't want to put ourselves in a bad position where we could potentially give the first blood over to, you know, Ori if he's in the vicinity, and then likewise, you know, just no reason to really scrap for them right now.
Yeah. Can feel pretty garbage to fight into those heroes. Level 1.
And this should be an Ori-favored lane here in the mid lane. We've talked about this a billion times, it feels like, Jenkins, where the Ember Spirit's just a slightly better version of the Void Spirit, even though they're very similar.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to this like 1v1 matchup between them. You know, Void Spirit is better at picking people off, but Ember feels like he scales a little better and does counter the Void Spirit because he does magic damage. Versus the physical damage shield, of course.
Trying to figure out where we're going to see this first blood. I was going to say, most likely going to be the top lane if PYW gets a decent arrow here.
Yeah, Bane has to be a little bit careful, for sure. He can die.
Otherwise, it's going to be fairly quiet, I have a feeling. There's not... mid lane's just going to be... Unless someone gets a little bit too low, perhaps they try to, you know, outskill each other. Do that whole 1v1 mid thing.
I think we could see it in the mid lane, possibly. I mean, it's a spirit battle. Anytime there's a spirit battle, like these are the heroes for killing and outskilling. You know, people just know all the little ins and outs of each of these matchups.
Well, like you said, it's basically the same hero, just a little bit different.
Yep.
So...
Yep. XM is actually coming out on top in the first couple of levels, which is pretty typical for what we see from Void Spirits. Is like he does really well level like 1 to 3, and then Ember starts doing a lot better when he gets more points in the Flame Guard.
I'd be interested to know what Ori's rank is right now too, actually.
Let me check for you.
Oh, fabulous! This is why we hired
Let's
Jenkins.
see.
He clicks the buttons. Oh.
He's got a private profile. God damn it, Ori. Let me see.
That's
I
all
can't
right.
see
You're
one of them in
trying.
the lobby. GG. GG.
GG.
Probably pretty high. I feel like Ori's really high.
Oh, I assumed that for sure. I feel like, they probably go up against each other mid, even like their pubs, right? So, be interested
Yeah,
to see who
definitely.
typically tends to win out in the mid lane. And I'm sure some of it is, of course, hero dependent, but...
Yeah, definitely. Some people are really good with this Void Spirit hero. Games?
Nice dodge here by Eurus. But First Blood's gonna go over to, Victoria
okay.
here.
It looks like he just solo killed him.
Yeah, I was watching the
Piranha
bottom.
just got a little bit too low. Yeah, same with so did I. Just kind of fighting around this hard camp here, and Mirana gets a little bit too low, it seems.
Surprised that happened, but...
Yeah, Void wasn't even anywhere near. He's just lasting at her tower, and he's like, okay, cool. I guess my support's getting first blood. All right.
At
That's
least
always nice.
the Mirana's not clicking him, though, so he's got to be happy about that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is interesting. Did you see this pull?
Which one?
This pull from that Bane just did. He took them from underneath his tower, just cut a hole through it, and brought them over to the camp. I've never seen that. I've seen it going off to the side and like pulling it from the lane, but never directly under tower. That's cool.
Oh yeah, that's like they changed that with Dire off lane. Like this is why Dire safe lane is so much easier than Radiant safe lane, is because you can do that pull, and you're like under the shroud of just so many different trees when you pull into tower like that. God, your pubs are gonna get a whole lot easier soon now that you've seen that pull. That's a pretty broken one.
I'm so excited, actually. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's a game changer. You gotta do that one. I always tell people when I'm coaching to do, if you're dire safe lane, you always pull the hard camp first, then stack the easy because of that pull, because it's so easy to get it off.
That's awesome.
That's why you want your core with the Quelling Blade to always cut that tree.
QIW.
Dude, Bane is just trading with the Mirana with double damage and winning.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
name.
that's the beauty of a brain sap, right? 2 points in it. Can trade exceptionally well as Eurus finds a kill on James. Bottom lane, he still has those stacks of Jingu up. Nice setup there coming out from DY.
Yeah, Monkey doing pretty well down here, but Legion's not doing too bad either. Like all the cores in this game are getting pretty farmed. A little bit favoring towards CDEC, but not by a huge degree.
Looks like Victoria's going to be able to go and grab up that bounty rune, but probably going to pay for it with his life, as Ori is pretty mad that he took that. He has an empty bottle now, so...
Yeah, that's an annoying rune for a Bane to go suicide for. I really like that he did that, actually, because that's the typical mid lane rune, is just dipping back and picking up that bounty for a full bottle. Like, everybody does that right now, so... Super good play from our buddy on the Bane here. Which I can't read Chinese characters, so I totally
believe that's
forget
Victoria.
who that is.
Victoria, I believe that's Victoria. Although top lane, they managed to land an arrow? He's disarmed. Can this be a kill on the Void? Indeed it is. Yang gets a nice kill on Ame there.
Yeah, nice arrow. With that level 2 in Time Walk, it's really hard for him to play super aggressively up here, because once he uses it, good god, it's on cooldown for 18 seconds. Not a very good escape in the early levels.
Oh, that hurts if you're Ori. We're really happy about it, though, if you're XM. You managed to bottle up the regen rune and save it for later.
Are there more fun heroes? Oh, bot lane?
Yeah, no, looks like they're putting some pressure over onto SRF, but...
SRF went for the Soul Ring, so really trying to play around that overwhelming odds, which I think makes a lot of sense against a Monkey King. You can't really run in and just trade on the creep wave like you would normally like to do on a Legion against a Monkey, obviously. He just does so much damage with that Jingu and lifesteals, so may as well play around the hero like it's a nuker, because, you definitely can.
So it's kind of interesting, the fact that, they're putting 3 heroes down in the bottom lane.
Ooh, look mid, look at this. I love this. I love this.
Just farming it up. Oh, that hurts if
Although
you're the Void
XM
Spirit, Ori.
XM took all of it, though. He actually got
He's gonna lose.
XM is gonna...
he managed to snatch stuff out!
With the regen. So he just regens up. Oh, XM.
That's nicely played.
This is a weird matchup. This is a weird time we live in with the mid lane here. Just like pulling to these stacks, and all of a sudden XM gets all of it, and then survives at 1 HP with the regen. That was clutch, though. Very clutch.
You know, it's two brothers squabbling in the mid lane, so.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I caught like I didn't catch it right at the start, but it felt like Ori still managed to grab a couple of those creeps with the flight.
I think you got a couple.
Oh,
Yeah,
the setup. Oh, look at this! Look at the body blocks coming out here. Bane says, "Don't touch my offlaner." He's the one who's going to be able to purge off the arrow anyway. So.
Yeah, really nice. Super
Very
nice
smart
play from these two. Once again, going back to like the trust in both of these teams with the players. That's not something that's going to happen in pubs, you know.
Yes, that's stuff. Oh man, he misses out on the rune again. Hats off to CDEC. They are securing these runes and guessing the right rune consistently too. That's pretty impressive, actually.
And not a single useless rune so far either. Like no, you know, crappy illusion rune, which is better now, but not like an arcane rune or a regen. Spirits getting an arcane or a regen. I mean, these are just the most fun heroes to get those runes on. You can just do so much with them.
I feel bad. I feel like Earth Spirit hasn't seen any love. Unlike quite a while.
That hero has never known love. Let's be real. He's been nerfed.
He's the middle child.
Every patch.
So to speak.
Yes, he
Poor
is.
guy.
He's living a rough life.
Looks like Yang needs a little bit of help here. He tries to get the Rolling Thunder. He's not going to be able to do it as XM shows up just in the nick of time to clean up the kill.
And heading into the triangle. Not sure what he's looking for here, but...
Maybe thinking someone was stacking, perhaps, or...
Yeah, maybe just...
PYW has to be careful, though, too. Yeah, silence being thrown out. Concussive shot. The blink. Oh, yeah, look at that. Very well done. Well set up by the side of CDEC here. Bottom, though, looks like they're going to try to get the kill onto SRF. There is the Void nearby, though. He's coming in. He's looking for the Chronosphere. He's going to be able to land it on both of these heroes. Eurus, though, has the Boundless, manages to land over here onto Victoria. Ori just zips on in, and now here's going to be Yang. He's going to follow up. He's got the Rolling Thunder. He was interrupted last time. They might lose the Void here again. Ame, no, he's going to be able to time walk away. Yang, he's rolling for him, though. Will be able to connect. Can he get the final hit off? Yes, he will, as now the rest of the side of CDEC. Oh, the draw in, though, over onto Yang. They'll be able to go secure it. They'll get the kill over onto Yang. They'll get the kill on Eurus as well, and now Ori. Oh, they're going in for the duel. SRF, he might not win this.
He's going to win a duel! What?
Maybe they were hoping that they had a little bit more damage. They just want to slap him down, but you know what? It's okay, because XM is going to be able to get the final hit. Top lane, arrows getting tossed out by PYW. Not going to be able to prevent the Bane from taking the rune there. What a fight. Wow.
God. Oh, that duel. I can't get over the duel, though. Like, you just feed an Ember 10 duel damage. That's not worth it.
They wanted to kill that bad, I guess. I don't...
Yeah. See, here's the thing, is that when the Sky is not level 6, or when he doesn't have the ult, there's very little damage right now for the Chronosphere or the duel, or the Bane Grip. Like, they have all this setup, but they don't have that much damage outside of the Sky. Like, we saw the Chronosphere in that fight. It was a good Chrono, but they had nothing. They had nothing for it. I mean, I say that, obviously they have this 2k gold lead now, so it's not like they're unhappy with how that went, but... That definitely could have gone better if they had some sort of other damage source. But.
Well, perhaps they thought that they had more than they did, but XM needs to be careful because he's just caught in the middle of a very uncomfortable three-way. As Ori, Eurus, and PYW are able to collect a kill, and luckily, you know, the comeback gold has been nerfed, but I don't think they're not going to be able to stun him out in time. They'll just take this tier 1 as their bottom tier 1, and DY. Get conquered.
The classic tier 1 for tier 1 trade. This has happened in both of the games that we've seen so far, where there's this pressure. Although Yang is pressuring the mid lane tower with the siege creep, so Vici is coming out ahead on this.
You can see the pings coming out. The TPs from XM. Knows that Yang's nearby. PYW also nearby, though, so don't think he wants to chase after that. Bane does manage to get the denial on the tower, though. I love how he keeps using these remnants to ensure that he can collect these runes.
That's pretty cool. He's like kind of angling towards mid so he can go get the bot rune if it's there, but then remnant to top. Very, very high skill stuff.
Well, look at the way that CDEC just keeps consistently securing these runes for him. Like, they position themselves exactly. You had the Skywrath down at the bottom one, you've had Bane at the top, plus the remnant. Like, they realize that XM is, you know, he's the guy that's got to make all the moves right now. With the Legion as well. But especially, you know, he is snowballing decently. He's 4-1 and 2 right now.
But it's a spirit battle. It's Ember versus
Oh boy.
Yang? Finds the void.
Yeah, and he's having a good time rolling around in circles. They will be able to
And
go
there's
full
the
out the
grip.
Fiend's Grip, though. Arrow comes through, lands over onto the Faceless Void. But where's the rest of the team? They're not going to be able to do much with that arrow, unfortunately, except maybe make it so that way the Void doesn't get the kill.
Oh, the classic Pango counter. It feels bad playing this hero versus a Bane. Or a Beastmaster. Any hero that can just disable your roll through BKB. It almost always feels worth it. Or I say BKB, I mean Magic Immunity. And they're looking for the Monkey King. They think that maybe he'd be farming this camp up here, and they're not right, though, because he did have a stack, so he's taking a little bit of extra time in that triangle when you would expect him to eventually make his way to that camp. So, good call from them. But
this is the Chronosphere. It only manages to land over on PYW, or he's just a little bit further out. The arrow coming through. XM, he's trying to just make something out of this, but they've got the Moonlight Shadow here. They do have the vision, but XM doesn't want to go in. It's him by his lonesome. So, oh, that was so close. Or he was just like this tiniest bit to that remnant out of the Chronosphere. That was.
It's hard to chrono
Very
Ember Spirit. It's really hard. He's always like sleight of fisting or remnanting and just chainsing you. It's really annoying.
Yang trying to bait. Arrow's
God,
going to get thrown out. They're not going to be able to find it. Disruption will save him.
Dude, DY's positioning on that high ground, super nice.
SRF, he's looking for that duel. Yang is nearby. He's going to get dragged back, and he gets the dual damage off at the last second. And in comes the Faceless Void. Does not have that Chronosphere. Or he seems very powerful right now, though. Eurus standing over in the tree line is going to get dragged in by XMNs. He's Remnant here. Jumps forward, does manage to go and hold the steering chains over to XMN. Oh, they're not quite going to be able to land the arrow, but they jump forward and they'll be able to collect a kill.
Good discipline from Vici, baiting out the Legion Commander Purge and then like holding stuns for directly afterwards. They're basically using the arrow as like a bait to get the Legion to use that Purge, which is a nice use of it. Because if you're really relying on the arrow against a Legion, I mean, you're never going to kill anybody.
No.
So, but using it to like bait the Purge and bait the saves, that's going to be a very useful way of fighting.
A little cheeky play here from DY, hoping that he could
Never refuse gold.
juke around, use these shadows to his advantage, but there's a nice ward placed by Victoria to ensure that that does not happen, and they get a kill.
He gets a D ward too.
Top lane?
That's...
They have the duel. Do they have the kill on Eurus? No, they don't! He turns it back around, he's got the bag! Oh, very nicely done by Eurus.
You're almost
Legion against Monkey. This is one of the most feels bad man matchups where if you don't kill him in the first couple of hits in the duel, he just turns around and boundless strikes you for your entire HP, and then he's at full HP again.
Yep.
It feels bad.
I guess they thought they had enough damage when you've got, you know, the Skyrest
Sky.
Mage dropping the ultimate, but wasn't quite enough, and I'm sure Mirana also had something to do with the fact that they couldn't get as many spells off as they'd like during that engagement.
Yeah, definitely. And Eurus has a pretty nice build for surviving this combo right now. He's got a lot of stats with these items. Very tanky.
Yang don't care.
Allies disappear.
Moonlight Shadow gets dropped. They do have that sentry ward, though, so they can keep tabs on everyone, but they can see also that everyone's rotating, so immediately being able to de-ward part of that.
Oh god, DY on the high ground, no!
No!
He's like, alright guys, we have to play around the high ground now.
He doesn't, yeah, they have the
just
outpost,
TPs.
luckily, but they don't have any way to get him down. Little cheeky play from XM, I like it. Yang also gonna get drawn forward, but Eurus standing into position, or he zips on in. He decides it is go time. The Silence comes out. He's got a blade mail though. Just zips right back out again. Chronosphere on the back lines. This fight is totally just broken up, and I don't know if they have enough damage over onto the side. They'll take down SRF, and now they're chasing after this Bane here. Victoria, he's trying. He's not gonna be able to. More attention being turned over to XM. Do they have any way to slow him down? Dissimulate coming through. Arrow, it's not gonna be able to connect. As now Yang chasing after XM, not gonna be able to quite land that remnant. And it seems like Vici's okay with this.
Yeah, Eurus does have a Okay, I was gonna say he does have stacks of Jingu, but he does use them on creeps. That could have gone a lot worse for CDEC, I think.
Oh, they try to jump in over at the Mirana. PYW sitting a little bit low, but maybe a bit too aggressive. Eurus just chilling here on the tree, still holding on to that Wukong's command too. They haven't even dropped everything, and I think that's one thing I really like about Vici is that they're really good about staggering what they have, right? Like the BKB in the first game, and now, you know, holding on to those ultimates, knowing, okay, we don't need to drop everything all at once.
Yeah, I think so too. I really like just like the way they're playing these fights in general. Yang is playing like an absolute madman. I mean, as he is doing right now, just charging right in with the ulti.
He wants James. Look, he's got his dancing shoes on. He's tippy tapping, but at the end of the day, he just can't avoid Eurus and Yang.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like effectively a stun if you're running around like that, trying to dodge it.
If you can't move of your own accord, I guess you could consider that.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool that Yang's playing like such a aggressive madman because we talked about the fact that CDEC has so many ways of disabling and doing damage with the Skywrath ulti, and he's basically just baiting it out and then trusting DY to save him, and that's why he built into this hood. So he can do this. Although I say that
has been on point. Looks like they're going to try to make moves over here on Ori. Look at DY. He's waiting patiently. There's going to be the Fiend's Grip. He tries to go in. He's not going to be able to be fast enough, but they'll follow up with a duel, too. Very nicely done from CDEC. Seeing this opportunity, Eurus hiding up in the trees. They thought about possibly going in, but they don't have their Ember. They don't have their Shadow Demon. They decide, all right, we're not going for this right now, and Yang's already down in the bottom lane.
DY was in the right position there, but he was trying to be a little bit greedy, baiting out a couple of more spells with that disruption that he had, but unfortunately there's just too much burst from CDEC. Like he needs to immediately save, and I imagine we'll probably see him doing that in future fights. Like he's not going to be so greedy with it, which, you know, can pan out to be a lot better if you're greedier with it, but not when there's so much burst.
Is it like a, you know, fool me once sort of thing?
Yeah, I imagine he's not going to do that again. I really doubt he'll do that again. God, DY's positioning is so nice. Every single time he's behind the hero in the most dangerous location.
That is so incredibly important, too. Oh.
Yeah, he's there. He's got the save if he needs it.
There's a lot of heroes on the side of the Dire that are here. Yang, Science, left. Oh, look at that! Oh, no. Oh, boy. That feels bad. The arrow comes through. DY, he's still alive. They'll turn it back around. They'll get the kill on SRF, and Ori's here. They're rolling on in with the Yang gang as they'll turn around. They can't quite hold down the faceless wood. Yang bouncing around in corners, though. Looks like he should be able to find this kill over onto James. Monkey King is here, too, just to make sure that they'll collect it. And they'll get the kill over on Ame as well.
Right,
DY, that was some miscommunication.
It was, but also DY definitely just gets my MVP for this game already. Like I after that, just the fact that he's just in the perfect position to save Yang there. I think even if just the Chrono comes out in the duel, like if either or of them come out, he's still saving Yang either way, you know? So I think like DY's positioning there is really what I want to focus on. Just so beautiful standing behind that tree, knowing that he's going to be the hero that gets gone on. So nice from Vici.
He's playing it exactly the way that it's meant to be done, and it's beautiful. It is really beautiful to see just the positioning. You know, we don't give... It's tough, right? As a position 5, you don't get praise very often, right? It's just like, oh, go by words, go do this. But in this case, especially because of how well Vici Gaming play together and how much they trust each other, you know, DY really shines here.
Very boring play style, though. This is not that fun in pubs. You're just like... Ooh, I can't wait until they cast abilities on my friends.
Can't wait till they try to jump my friends. I'm gonna be ready with the button, guys. But you know, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's did you win? It's not how flashy was I. What's my kill score? It's did my team win, and did I do everything I could do to help them win? And in DY's case, I would definitely say yes.
Yeah, 100%. He's doing a really good job standing around, slightly out of range.
Well, it
I don't mean
definitely
to
sounds
minimize it,
very
'cause
less glamorous when you put it like
it's-
that, James.
I know, I don't mean to minimize it, because it is really hard. I mean, they've so much to kill him, and you can see how much focus they have on him when they duel him and chrono him at the same time, right?
Moonlight Shadow, the drag in. He had the blade mail, but they also have the sentry. PYW looks like he's going to try to line up an arrow. Does manage to land a DY standing nearby. W giving a couple of these leaps around. They get the duel off on the back lines over here onto DY. Is there going to be anyone to save him? Oh, Yang, you're just a... Oh, God, that looks horrific as he gets stuck in the Rolling Thunder, and they follow it up with a Fiend's Grip. Yang now is just dead.
You are destroyed.
Good lord,
And
that's horrific looking.
It looks gross. It looks... He's just like a pulsating purple
Organ or
blob.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it does look like a heart, doesn't it? Like a beating
A
heart.
little. A little.
Gross. But when DY is not in position to save, that's exactly what happens. And like we said, it's really hard. Like, you have to know exactly who's going to get gone on. You have to basically read the mind of the enemy team, which...
Well, you
not
say
easy
that.
when it's CDEC.
You say that, but at the same time, like, look at the way that CDEC is responding to it. They know now that they're baiting generally, that one of these guys is going to be a little bit out of position, and DY
It's going to be
sitting
Yang.
behind.
They know it's going to be Yang,
It's usually
basically.
Yang, yeah, because he's the very aggressive one. But SRF, he just waits. He waits, and then he finds that, you know, he's starting to gear up, and he just pops on in, and he says, oh, I found you! You know, it's a game of hide and seek, but you know exactly, well, not exactly, but you have a general idea where the person is hiding is. So
Yeah,
it's pretty neat. It's neat that it's telegraphed a little bit, not, you know, super blatantly obvious, but...
Yeah, and we'll see how Vici responds to that, too, though. Like, there's, they've got a response play as well. Vici?
yeah,
Find
and
James here?
I'll get a quick
Maybe
pick
that's
off
a
on
response
James.
play. Okay, that's your only damage dealer now. Dead. Maybe we just kill James in every single fight. Because we talked about all of the setup for James, but where's the damage?
Right.
It's basically just James. Look at Faceless Void's inventory. He's got a Maelstrom BKB. This guy's not doing that much damage at the moment. He needs like 2 more items, and then he does damage. And XM is going for an Aghanim Scepter, and he has a Yules. So he's a Void Spirit. He does an okay amount of damage, but he's not like a Skyrat. You know, he's not crapping
He's
out
not
damage
super
by any
bursty.
means.
Right.
Yep.
It's more of like the control, the poking, being more annoying, I guess. That's a good way to put it.
Overtime damage, jump, you know, that sort of thing.
I mean, that Ag Scepter is super annoying, though. I hate
It is
going
annoying.
against Void Spirits that have that.
Yeah, you basically need a BKB. No amount of Manta Style or Yule Scepter or Lotus Orb does anything against this because he just has a second charge.
Yep.
He just silences you, you take it off, he silences you again, and then kills you. Really not fun to be a support player against this hero.
25-minute runes. I like how you see Ori just zip right past everyone, just pew 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 pew.
Yeah, he went for a very early Aghanim Scepter, just Blade Mail, just straight Ags.
An easy shot.
It's a fun item on Ember. That Aghanim Scepter.
I mean,
I love how it's basically like makes the Remnant like global. You can just Remnant from across the map.
XM finds PYW, the silence coming out here with that Ags. They'll get a quick pick off as the rest of the side of Vici Gaming forced away. DY looks like he's next on the list. You can see Eurus getting into position though. Oh, but he turns right back and he's got the BKB, the buyback, coming out from the Mirana. Yang rolling Thunder through. Doesn't find anyone though. Void sitting over here on the low ground. DY,
Oh, they see
does
Void.
he spot him? Does he see? Oh, he boots
Oh,
the
the chrono!
Ame, oh, Ame.
The arrow! They can.
Oh,
okay, the Bane save.
They save him for a little bit longer. BKB coming out now from the Void. Midnight Shadow is over, but on the back ends, in comes Ori, in comes Yang. They don't have anything to lock him down because, of course, he is BKB'd, but they're just going to keep chasing after him. And is he going to be... Oh, the net comes out. Void going to have to go up here over on the high ground. They're just going to zip right past. They have a Yule Scepter, though. Oh, no, Ame.
There's so much stuff that happened in that fight. I actually just had like an aneurysm. That's ridiculous. Like the Bane Nightmare save on the, I believe it was the arrow. They almost set up for the arrow to cancel the Void's BKB, so he almost died. I mean, he does end up dying, obviously, but there were so many clutch plays right at the start of that fight. I legitimately almost died.
You almost died. I'm trying to cast it all out loud and
Yeah,
make sense of it in my brain at the same time. Good lord.
Very good stuff from Vici. And they head back. Possibly Roshan is a decent pickup right now. They do have the Pango, makes Rosh a lot easier with that disarm and minus armor.
Yeah, you don't want to fight into a pit with Pango.
Pit with a Pango. That sounds like a band name.
There we go. You want to join my band, Pit with Pango?
Yeah,
It's a ska band.
Sounds like a ska band.
Oh, okay. Victoria buys a little bit more time, but the arrow just beelines for his face. So now there's no Bane to have to worry about. Look, I love how he keeps placing these over on the cliffs.
It's so annoying.
It's so annoying, especially if you don't have, you know, an item to get down or a lead. Buyback, though, coming out from Bane. They don't want to allow them to get into this rush, although they go in for the duel almost immediately as they find DY. And this is the person you have to take out. They'll be able to do it. SRS managing to get that duel damage, but do they have enough damage to take him down as well? Yes, with the Rolling Thunder and Eurus coming in, they'll be able to take out the Legion, but she's already got the duel damage. Ori, he's looking for this hunt here. Will be able to go find the kill onto James. Buyback coming out now from DY. Oh, there it is, though. There's the hold over onto Ori, but Yang, he's here. They should be able to get the kill on this toe. Bane, is he going to be able to get away fast enough? No, not with the swashbuckle. XM is here as well. There's 3 heroes down on the side of CDEC.
That extra swashbuckle range coming in handy for the first time in the history of Dota. Somebody said, oh, I'm glad they buffed swashbuckle range.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Pango players are all pretty happy about that, right?
I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to ask Lukey what he thinks about the new change.
That's a good point.
The range on it did get lowered, which is unfortunate. Now they pick up Roshan, pretty easy. Like we talked about, Pango, 3 heroes dead as well. This is going to be a big power swing towards Vici, as if they didn't already feel like they were ahead in the game.
Yeah.
Roshan has fallen to the radar.
All right. Eurus claiming himself some immortality here. I can bet that we'll see them going for some more objectives. It looks like it's going to be the mid lane.
Yeah, play towards the enemy triangle. There's 2 towers around this area, so it makes a lot of sense. You have this top outpost, you can always TP2 if the enemy walks into the jungle.
James.
Ooh, James.
Just bad luck, my friend. Look at, they have a nice ward here too.
Melts.
Just being able to keep tabs. Bottom lane, the Chronosphere gets used, but they have a Yules on the Mirana, so it's not going to amount to too much here. As they go, they net up the Void. Ori sliding through. BKB comes out, though. Oh, man, he doesn't want to land the arrow, though, over attack Sam. He's not going to be able to get out of here. He doesn't have any of those charges up just yet. Ori on the hunt will get drawn in by the Rem. There's so many people here. PYW, though, has the vision. It's going to leap forward. The Yules gets used, though. Buys a little bit more time, but they've got the Shadow Poison. Oh, XM, he's just realizing, maybe I can outplay them using Dissimulate. Maybe they won't find me, but the arrow, they know. They know, and this is not feeling good for XM. He is wasting a lot of their time, though, because they're just having difficulty locking him into place. Again, another Dissimulate goes off into the corner, manages to Astral Step off into the corner. Another arrow.
Oh
my god. When do you give up and you just say, all right, this is ridiculous.
Dude, his team is coming.
They still want him.
Here.
They still want him. Oh, and PYW, he guesses exactly the right spot.
Oh, but his team is a little bit out of position. Oh god, maybe a lot out of position.
Oh no, CDEC, Eurus is coming, so is the Rolling Thunder. They're bringing the hurt, they're bringing the noise down here. Yang looking for an opening, that arrow not going to be able to quite land, but SRF, Disruption comes up. They're going to wait patiently for this Legion Commander. They want this kill, and they'll be able to find it.
Oh, man. That looked like a really sick bait from XM at the start there, but really it baited CDEC
yeah. They
getting
ran
out of position.
Well, it takes so long for them to get down there. That's the problem.
Yeah, Vici was on the way as well.
Not like they have someone with boots of travel or something, because Vici, of course, is already. You've already got 3 heroes there.
And the cool thing is, the other Vici players though, they didn't go for XM. They knew that CDEC was coming, and they went for the back line. And the Eurus jumped in and immediately stunned both the Bane and the Skywrath with 1 Boundless Strike, which, I mean, I don't know if there are better targets to stun than both the supports. It just puts them in such a precarious situation when you're at half HP.
We talked about the Skywrath Mage being, a primary source of damage at this point. So, those are the heroes. Those are the ones that you want to stun up.
Yeah, definitely. Although, our Faceless Void's not doing too bad. He does have the full Mjolnir now, finally, so he is getting to that point. He does a good amount of damage.
Oh, no, XM, he's got the step. He's fine. But, I'm feeling like Victoria is not long for this world. Yeah, Eurus hopping around. Does manage to get the Nightmare off, though. Yang's here. Followed up with that nice net, which is perfect for Mirana. Oh, the follow-up, though, with the Chronosphere. There's the damage we talked about, plus the BKB coming out. So DY not going to be able to do anything about that. It's be the Atos, and the damage is just too great coming out from the side of Vici that they have to run away. And there's no BKB now on this Faceless Void.
In both of these games, it's just the supports getting killed because like the cores are just building not to die, and they're just so hard to kill. Like Monkey King, Ember, Pango, these 3 heroes, they're tanky, they're mobile. What can you do? You just have to kill the Mirana and the Shadow Demon every time. It's a sad life for supports, but somebody's got to do it.
I mean, DY painted a big old target on his back from the very start of this game, honestly.
Yeah, this is true.
God, there's just going to be monkeys everywhere here with Eurus dropping those little soldiers all over.
Deso monkeys too, so you drop those on a tower and that thing falls fast.
Yep. He did that in mid already. So what's the play now for CDEC, right? Do you just hope that you get the chrono of your life, or you just continuously dodge? How do you do this? Because they're everywhere, it feels.
Yeah, I think keep killing supports, stay in the game for as long as possible, and eventually this Faceless Void is going to start doing damage. Like, this is a good Rapier hero, so it's not like they're ever really truly out of this game.
This Rapier meta, Ame needs to be careful. Yang's here, Ori's here, the roll forward, the swashbuckle. Can they get him in time? Can they disable him? No, he's got the BKB back up, but the blade mail coming out on Ori. On the back lines here, Eurus is going to just take a little nap. They still managed to go and hit over here onto this Faceless Void. Should be able to time walk away. So it could absolutely be worse, but uh-oh, SRF. What you doing over there, boo-boo? What you doing? Trying to go for a backline pick, but it is not going to happen.
Yeah, that was weird. I mean, I think well, let's see. What the hell? He has a ward and a sentry there, so he sees that they have that ward.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Really looking for DY, I suppose. He's like really trying to pick him off.
I mean, that again was the name of the game. Is you know, take out DY, take out their save, but just perhaps a little bit too far out.
I would love to see Void go for a Rapier instead of this Monkey King bar at this point.
Top tower is under attack.
It's such a good item. I feel like it's not unsafe. Well, I mean, it is unsafe by its nature, but it's less unsafe than it has ever been.
It feels like he's got a tracking beacon on his butt here.
It does.
No matter where he goes, they're there. Like, look at this. Ori just finding that pickoff. There's going to be the BKB being used. Yang is held into place, but DY, again, he's just here. He's here to save his team. Silence coming out. Rolling Thunder again. Can they get this kill? Yeah, they'll be able to use it. The arrow comes in from PYW. Void is down. He's going to have to buy back if he wants to be a part of this fight. Eurus, BKB up, should be able to take down SRF. James 2 is going to get taken down. XM, is he going to be able to assimilate away? No!
They caught him. Yeah, they caught him.
Well, there's only one direction he can really go at this point, to be quite honest. Either way, he's going to die.
You need all your heroes to defend at this point. I mean, it looks like they're not even interested on CDEC in defending this. They have no chrono, so how do you fight this? I don't think you can. I think you just have to sack this Rax. But you're sacking your Rax against a lineup that's not necessarily worse than yours in the late game. I mean, Monkey King versus Void. I think that's pretty even, and with a 21k gold lead, very not even.
Well, they do have a repair kit, so that'll help a little bit, discouraging them from taking the buildings, but it's just... Oh, and Mirana just finished up the Guardian Greaves, too. They could continue to push. There's nothing stopping them right now. Kit slows them down just a little bit. Oh no. BKB, though, coming out from Eurus. He's going to try to fight as they zip through XM, looking on the back lines. He wants to take down DY, but they'll follow up with a really nice Wukong, just chasing them down. They'll get the kill on Bane. They get the kill on the Sky Wrath. Oh my god. It is just a massacre. The GG gets called. Eurus is just too powerful, and they're going into the well now. Good lord. Yeah, Eurus is, come here. Give me the rampage.
Come on. Yeah, I mean, once again, very well played from Vici. I mean, obviously they won the game, but it was cool to see the progression of how both teams were fighting throughout the game. It was like First, we had Vici that was absolutely beautifully saving in every single fight with DY. Then CDEC kind of clued into that, started playing a lot better around picking off DY. And then after that, you had Vici, who basically isolated James in every single fight and just killed him. And sometimes the Bane, like they would focus the two supports of CDEC. And okay, when these supports are dead, there's not enough damage, there's not enough disable on CDEC for them to win the fight. And these are very easy heroes to kill. I mean, we saw in a bunch of those fights, Eurus would press his Q on the Skywrath mage, and it's just like, boom, 70% of his HP immediately gone. And then he has to drop some, like, essentially dog shit Skywrath ulti because what can he do? He's about to die, right? He's got to press his spells. But that's not what you want if you're CDEC. Like, this is your primary damage dealer. And we never got to the point where Void could do his own damage. We talked about Void, well, I should say Faceless Void. We talked about Void Spirit. That hero's not going to do damage. And Legion, I mean, it's a 3-9 Legion commander who is basically focusing a Shadow Demon in every fight. So this is not a damage dealer. It is just James. So it was the ultimate strategy. Kill James in every fight, and it's GG.
Yeah, it's very interesting how the supports became kind of like the backbone for both of these teams. In the case of damage, it was James. In the case of Vici Gaming, DY was the one who had to position himself so carefully. But I think the problem really started to accelerate, right? The fact that, you've got this Legion jumping DY in the background, but the rest of the team, there's still Vici Gaming still collecting kills. Like, look at these scores. 13-1, 16 on Eurus. Even PYW, as position 4, 10 kills, 16 assists. Like, this team is still getting so fat off of the other kills in these fights that it doesn't matter. By the time the Faceless Void shows up, the rest of the team is so poor, and they're underleveled and whatnot. What can they hope to do? So I don't know if is it a drafting issue coming out from the side of CDEC?
Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like Vici just played so well.
They did. I'll definitely agree that they played excellent, especially game number 1. Yang was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really tough to beat a team that seems like so on point with everything between how they're playing team fights, how they play the map, laning, obviously synergy. That's probably the big one that I'm noticing in both of these games is that their synergy is great, but not even in terms of spell usage. Like also itemization, trusting each other. Everything, like it's trusting the draft as well, that the draft is good. So just Vici looking super solid. I mean, this is why this is a creme de la creme, tier 1 of tier 1
and
team.
You love that phrase.
I love the phrase because it's like there's a difference between a tier 1 team and the secrets, the Vicis. You know what I mean? There is a difference. It's like a tier above.
Definitely.
Maybe yeah, I don't know.
Well, part of that is just because, the international experience really does help out quite a bit. But, that's going to be it from us today, guys. Vici Gaming looking just very, very skilled. They're looking great right now. CDEC, unfortunately, losing the series to Vici 2-0 here. They'll have a chance to come back. We are still in the group stages, but I have a feeling Vici Gaming's probably going to rise to the top along with IG from what we've seen so far. But thank you so much for casting with me today, Jenkins. That is going to be it from us. You can come back here tomorrow, watch plenty more exciting Chinese Dota action here at the OGA Dota Pit stream. But we will sign off for now, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.